Hey guys, roaringgames here with another video. Today we're playing Depression Quest. And so I'm going to read this out loud. Now if you want to skip it, I'll leave a message or something. Okay. Depression Quest is a game that deals with living the depression in a very literal way. I don't want to read it. Experienced differently by every person. It's important to recognize that everyone with depression is so lucky. Many people with illness don't have a lot of luxuries that we have in this game. We've written it this way so we can focus specifically on the illness, which becomes more and more difficult to deal with as a person who is less and less well off. This game's audio is part of the gameplay. Well, I don't have my sound on, so I won't get to hear it either, as well as you guys. So, it's early Monday morning. You were in the mid-20s human being. You have a significant other named Alex, who you're rather fond of, that you have been seeing exclusively for the past few months. The rest of your social circle consists of a variety of friends and acquaintances, some of whom you met at your day job, which is a little boring but pays the rent. You like to be doing more with your life, as would your parents, but you're still in the process of figuring out what that means and how to go about it. You're also dealing with motivation issues that sometimes makes dealing with these things difficult. You feel like it's probably your fault, and on bad days you can feel inwardly angry and down on yourself for being lazy, but you're not quite sure how you can break out of it or how other people deal with these feelings and seem so very functional. You spend a lot of nights fixating on thinking about this, but never seem to do anything about it other than lose sleep. Oh my god. It is unseasonably warm Wednesday evening. You spent the past several hours of work. The past week or so, you found your job motivation flagging more so than usual. You've been in a fog practically all day today, simply going through the motions without realizing even what you've been doing half the time, and yet seemed to be moving at half speed. You're so checked out that when your boss approaches you to tell you that it's dead, and you can go home early, it barely registers. As you walk home, the streets hiss from the recent rainfall. You know that your significant other will be in classes until late, another couple hours at least. You briefly consider using this, I don't know how to say that word, solitude to catch up on that project that you've been working on, I don't know how to say that word, for the past few months. As soon as you think about the work that awaits you at home, you can feel the panic creeping from the back of your brain unbidden. All you can think about is how incredibly far behind you are, and the amount of work seems nothing less than I don't know. By the time you arrive home and change out of your comfortable work clothes, the stress is weighing down on you like a heavy, wet wool blanket. Your computer seems to be staring you down from the desk. You want to sit down and work, but the mere thought of trying to work sends your stress levels flying. More than anything, you feel suddenly and absolutely exhausted and feel like a strong desire to simply hide in bed. Do you reluctantly sit down at your desk and try to make yourself do something? Turn on TV, telling yourself quicker, go into bed, you're so stressed over and you can't. Yeah, we're doing that. Okay. You make a stop at your fridge, turn your favorite playlist on, and sit down to start working. You open the last file you were working on, and as soon as your hands touch the keyboard, your mind goes blank. All the motivation and ideas you had when you arrived home vanish in a flash. Your brain seizes up, and you find yourself physically incapable of any productive thought. You take a break to loosen up, popping into your email box, Twitter, and various other internet-based distraction fodder. Frustratingly, this pattern continues throughout the course of the evening. As soon as you try and focus on work, your brain diverts all its energy away from the task at hand. While you keep flipping back to your work, you find the sheer mental effort involved in keeping your brain focused is overwhelming and tiring. A few Twitter arguments, YouTube videos, and sparse amount of actual work later, your playlist flips back to track 1, and the ice in your glass has all but melted, diluting the last dregs of the Coke you were nursing. You look at the clock and realize that a few hours have passed since you sat down to work, and you made negligible progress. I can't say that word. I can just wake up early tomorrow and catch up, you think to yourself as you climb into bed, even though you know that never actually happens. Next, you were very depressed. You spent a large amount of time sleeping, hating yourself. Very little energy and motivation. You were not currently seeing a therapist. You were not taking medication for depression. Okay. It's mild Friday afternoon. Alex calls you from one of her classes, telling you that there's going to be a really awesome birthday party tonight at her apartment that one of her roommates is throwing. You've hung out with his roommate a few times with Alex, and you get along with enough, but aren't particularly close. You don't have work in the morning and have nothing else in particular to do tonight. You're feeling kind of run down, but you have fatigue most of the time lately. You mention that you're feeling ill because you're not sure how else to explain those feelings to anyone else, and say that you aren't sure you can make it tonight. There's a second of silence over the phone, but you can swear you can hear the sound of your partner's face fall. She tries to convince you anyway. You haven't seen her this week, and she sounds pretty insistent that you come over. What even drops a few suggestively worded hints that you can stay over with them tonight after the party. What do? Well, agree to go. You agree to go, even though you're really not feeling social. You know it's important to Alex, and you really like to see her. Seeing her does make you feel better sometimes, and you hope that this is the case tonight, even if it does mean dealing with all the usual social anxiety. The time to leave rolls around, and you grab your overnight bag. Alex's apartment is a short walk away, and there are already people hanging out on the porch. You feel your chest tighten as you approach the building and try to steel your nerves. You quickly find your partner chatting away with the birthday girl, and Alex immediately lightens up when she sees you. "I'm so happy you came. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it." A young man taps her on the shoulder, and she turns back to apologize and let you know they have to do something for the party. Alex hands you a beer and plants a kiss on your cheek before going off to deal with whatever came up. As you look around, you don't see anyone else you recognize. I awkwardly stand in the same spot, unsure what else to do. Put your bag in Alex's room and avoid the crowd there for a while. Cling to the wall, slip your beer and wait for your girlfriend to return, proceed to drink in earnest, hoping it makes you less comfortable. I need to think. Okay. As Alex leaves, you are not quite sure what to do with yourself. Standing in the middle of the room leaves you feeling kind of exposed, and you don't feel ballsy enough to randomly approach in any of the groups of people clustered together talking. You head to a clear spot on the back wall and lean against it. For some reason, this always feels a lot more secure. You scan the party for a familiar face or any sign of your partner and come up with nothing. Not sure what else to do and worrying that you must look creepy, just standing there watching everyone, you take out your phone to busy yourself. 20 semi-tedious games of Bejeweled Blitz later, your partner returns. You spend the rest of the night with Alex, occasionally being introduced to people and nodding along with group conversations even if you don't participate that much. At the end of the night, as you're falling asleep with your girlfriend in the crook of your arm, she thanks you again for coming. Half drunk, she confides that she thought you were going to flake out and was pleasantly surprised that you managed to come. She says it lovingly, but you're not quite sure how you feel about that statement. Okay, it's a little afternoon on a muggy Saturday. Your mother has come over for a surprise visit, claiming loudly that she doesn't see you enough, so she decided to invite herself over. As you converse, she walks around your place and getting the distinct impression that you're being inspected. "So what's going on with you lately?" she asks abruptly. Taken somewhat aback by this left fielder, you tell her you're not sure what she means. She repeats the question, saying that you haven't seemed like yourself lately. She gestures to the dirty dishes piled in the sink and notes the fact that you haven't called or visited in a while. Your reticence only seems to spur her on more. She presses you, asking if you're having problems at work or with Alex, and you're beginning to feel increasingly battered by her sudden well-meaning but overwhelming inquisition. Under her questions, you become increasingly uncomfortable. You want to be able to tell her how you've been feeling, but the truth is you're not really quite sure yourself. Nothing horrific have happened at work or with your significant other or friends or anything like that. But all the same, you can't deny that lately you've just been feeling drained and as though you're not really here. You wish you can tell your mother these things, but she hasn't been approachable about negative emotions in the past. She's the kind of person who holds the opinion, and the solution to any problem is to simply try harder and maintain a positive attitude, a stance that has reared its head in past conversation when you begun to explore the subject with her. Alright, see you in the next part because the video is about to end. Bye.